Good morning. Happy Tuesday, April the 15th. Welcome into today's episode of Hoops Talk with Dave. I'm your host, David Smith. Thanks for joining me here as we have a full breakdown of the NBA playoffs coming for you as we have reached day one of the NBA postseason. 2 7 versus 8 games tonight. I'd like to welcome in special guest Nic Young, former co-host of Hoop Grids Pod and Ball In Podcast. Welcome in, Nick. Thanks for joining us here to break down this NBA playoff bracket.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for having me. It's always a good time when I get to chop up, basketball, just sports in general with you. So I'm excited for what's in store for today.
We love talking basketball off the podcast everywhere, and we love going back and forth about, everything from who the GOAT is to whether our two favorite teams which one's better, which one's the better franchise. And so it's going to be fun here. I'm excited to see what you have in store, especially out of that Western Conference. I'm looking forward to seeing what you got there.
Oh, yeah, the West is wide open. I'm real excited to share with you everything I got. I think I'm not gonna lie, there's a hint of delusion, but I think it'll be fun.
Hey, especially in the media nowadays, you got to have delusion. Got to have it. Got to have it to set yourself apart. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting with tonight's games, doubleheader on TNT starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Magic playing host to the Atlanta Hawks. Orlando, a 5.5-point favorite. And I'll tell you what, I'll keep this one short and simple. I like the Orlando Magic. I think they're a really good team, a really good squad. I think they've, being led by Paolo Banchero, this Orlando team, I like them to win easily tonight over the Hawks.
Yeah, not much different from my end as well. I think I like the Orlando Magic team. Also love the Orlando Magic theme song. That didn't factor into my decision, but I think definitely they're just a better ball club in this instance, and I'm going to have to agree with you on that. I think I got them advancing as well.
Yeah, so both of us have the Magic moving on out of this 7 versus 8 game in the play-in to set up a matchup in the first round between the Celtics and the Magic. That one will start on Sunday. Our second game tonight, also on TNT, 10 p.m. Eastern tip-off. The Golden State Warriors playing host to the Memphis Grizzlies. And the West, obviously, is way more loaded. As you just look at these two, both these play-in games in the East, all these teams are 500 or below. The Magic come in at 41-41. Out West, both the Grizzlies and the Warriors are 14 games above 500. An insane difference as far as the level of seasons these teams have had. The Grizzlies very up and down, a lot of off-the-court drama. They travel to Golden State, take on the Warriors. The Warriors 6.5-point favorites in this one. I like Steph. I like Jimmy to get it done. Expect the Warriors to move on in my bracket, I should say.
Yeah, I'm right there with you as well. Ever since Golden State got Jimmy Butler, they look like they've been rejuvenated in a sense, and I think he's the leader they need. The pairs perfectly with Draymond and Steph Curry, and I think that just they've been on a tear the past couple months, honestly. So I just think it's a no-brainer here to go with the Warriors to get by the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, the Warriors are 23-6 when both Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler are on the floor, which is incredible to see. And the fact that they still ended up, since that trade deadline, they're 23-6 and still in the 7-8. That shows you how strong the West is. But both of us have the Magic and the Warriors winning those first two play-in games as we now head into tomorrow night's games, a doubleheader on ESPN starting off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern in Chicago. The Miami Heat traveling up to take on the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls are a 1.5-point home favorite. And I'll tell you what, I like the way the Chicago team has been playing lately. All signs really pointed to them not having a chance at all this year, but the resurgence of Josh Giddey has looked great for them. I like this Bulls team to take out Miami, and Miami gets to keep their first-round draft pick this year. Give me Chicago.
Yeah, so I got the Bulls winning this one. I think just this whole season for Miami as a whole, it would just be super beneficial for them to go ahead and lose this game. I'm not saying they're going to lose it on purpose, but I just think, like you kind of hinted at, the Bulls is kind of – a lot of people counted them out this year, right? And I think that the fact that they're even in this play-in tournament with a chance to make it to the playoffs is going to give them like that extra elevation to just kind of get past Miami here. So I think both teams really end up winning here. Miami gets to stay in the lottery while the Bulls get to go ahead and just kind of continue on their kind of like redemption journey.
Oh, yeah. No, I get that. The Chicago team is loaded. I mean, they've got a lot of money going out to a lot of different players. And so this is a team, as far as playing to lose, this is not one doing so. And obviously, I don't think Miami will play to lose either, but I think that Chicago's the 9 seed for a reason. They're getting to host this game for a reason. Both of us in agreement there. Chicago moving on to the elimination game for the 8th seed. And our final play-in game on Wednesday night, Mavericks, Kings, 10 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. The Kings are 4.5-point favorites, and I think for good reason. I don't trust this Mavericks team just as far as when it comes down to this one game type of season for them. This team coming in next year is going to be a really fun team to watch. I think if they keep Clay and Kyrie and AD together, it'll be an interesting team to see how they work out next year. But I've got their season ending at the hands of Sacramento. I've got the Kings moving on.
Yeah, I think you put it very well. Well put. With one game on the line, I don't think you can really trust Dallas here. In a series, I'd probably be tempted to sway more towards Dallas just because I think Anthony Davis and Klay Thompson, their experience alone will probably help them. Just kind of help rally the team around them. But I think in this instance, they've been through so much this year. Obviously, the players over there pre-Luka have been through a lot, losing their star player. And I think that and then losing Kyrie, I think with everything going on, it's kind of the same thing with the Miami Heat. It's probably beneficial that you go ahead and just bow out now. I think it'll be a great game. It'll be a very well fought game. I think Sacramento's definitely playing for more here than Dallas is.
Absolutely. Could not agree more. Both of us have these same results in the play-in, and obviously we have not seen each other's results here, so don't think there's any type of us being on the same page here. I think we're going to have some differentiating opinions later on. But as we now move on to the 8 seed games here, so both of us have Chicago taking on Atlanta in Atlanta, and then we both have Sacramento taking on Memphis in Memphis. We'll start in the East. I've got Chicago continuing their redemption tour on. I've got them taking out Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks. It's not that I don't believe in Trae Young in Atlanta. He was the NBA assist leader once again. His career overall very underrated, but I don't like this Atlanta Hawks team. I'm not really a big believer in them. This is a rebuilding squad. Chicago gets the victory here. They clinch the 8 seed in the East.
I like Chicago here as well. Like we kind of been hitting that with the redemption. I think that that's just kind of how the team is going. I think the Hawks have a great future. They really in terms of this draft class, they did a great job of who they selected. And I think that in the future, with everything they got the pieces like Dyson Daniels and Trae Young, I think it's more of a thing that you look forward to the future that they're going to do great things. But yeah, this year I think Chicago as well.
Yeah, we're both on the same page there. Chicago into the 8 slot, and then Memphis hosting Sacramento for this final 8 seed, this final playoff spot on Friday evening. I've got Memphis. I've got the Grizzlies. No Taylor Jenkins. Obviously, they fired their head coach a few weeks ago. But I think this team is just way more loaded than Sacramento is. And it's nothing against Sacramento, but this Memphis team playing in Memphis, they know what's on the line. I've got Ja making one more big play and getting the Grizzlies into the playoffs.
Yeah, shocker, but I like Memphis too. But I just like them because everything they've been through. Obviously, this is a team that at one point, a couple years in the past, was a top 3 seed. So I think just because of their playoff experience and just who they have in that locker room, I think they've got just enough willpower to go ahead and get past the Kings and punch their ticket into the playoffs.
So both of us on the same page there. We've got Memphis taking down Sacramento and Chicago taking out Miami. Now on to the first round in the Eastern Conference. We've got the 1 versus 8 matchup. Both of us have the Cavaliers of Cleveland taking on Chicago. And I like Chicago to get a game. I like them to get a game. I think Cleveland rolls on. This has been the best record team in the East for a reason. I've got the Cavaliers taking down the Bulls in 5 games.
Yep. Cavs have been great all year. It's been a really nice story to kind of watch unfold. And I think, kind of like how you're saying, yeah, short series, but Cavs should definitely, there should be no shock when the Cavs advance to the next round because of everything they've done so far, their body of work this year.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This Cleveland team has earned that number 1 seed. They'll move on to the Eastern Conference semifinals. And speaking of moving on, right here, I've got Boston taking down the Magic in 4 games. So I've got the Celtics getting the sweep here over Orlando. And I think this is just, obviously, you've got Boston as the defending champions. I think their talent gap is just massive. And I think Orlando, maybe they could snag a game. I was going back and forth between 4 and 5, but I'll take Boston to get the sweep.
All right, Boston to get the sweep. Shocker. But as much as it pains me, I might have to pick Boston as well. Like you said, Boston, the skill gap is there. Boston is a very, very good basketball team. Obviously, you guys are the defending champions. But I just think that, skill gap's a little too wide for them. Celtics should be a relatively easy series. The Magic may get a game or two, but should be pretty simple series for Boston. moving forward.
Yeah, and this future for Orlando very bright for them, and they were really in contention for a top 4 seed throughout most of this year. These East teams, I mean, going from 3 through 7 is close. It's close throughout here. Orlando ending up in that 7th slot. They'll bow out to the Celtics. Moving on to a couple of really fun series, some very physical basketball between these 4 teams. New York and Detroit, the Knicks and the Pistons, a 3-6 matchup. I like Brunson. I like Jalen Brunson a lot. I think he is going to win Clutch Player of the Year for good reason. This New York team loaded up. I think Karl-Anthony Towns is the most important player for them. He's the best player on the floor for New York. Jalen Brunson stepping up when it matters most. I've got the Knicks taking out the Pistons in 6 games.
Yeah, I'm also a big fan of Mr. Jalen Brunson. I think him going to New York was just one of the greatest moves to happen in free agency. It's definitely made basketball fun, especially brought it back to the city of New York. So it's always fun. I think the Knicks definitely, this one, it's going to be a little bit tighter than these other matchups we talked about a little thus far. So I think, yeah, definitely what Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, what they've got going there is just it's really fun to watch. And I think it'll be a relatively, like I said, closer series, but the Knicks should squeeze by there.
Yeah, not to discredit anything Detroit has done this year. Cade Cunningham has got this team playing at an incredible level. He should be on an All-NBA team this year. There was some speculation that was he worth that number 1 overall pick? I think Detroit Pistons fans can look back and know that he was absolutely worth it at this point. He's got this Detroit team not even in a play-in spot, but in a playoff spot. Incredible for Pistons fans. Unfortunately for them, the road will be short. On to our 4-5 matchup, Indiana and Milwaukee. I've got this one going 7 games, and I really struggle going back and forth here. But I'll take the team who was in the conference finals last year. Give me the Indiana Pacers to take down the Milwaukee Bucks in 7 games.
Pacers in 7. All right. So it's real hard to bet against Giannis. I love Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's my guy. But I just think the Pacers just have just the way that they play, all their moving pieces. I just think, especially without Damian Lillard, just that's going to be the big thing that's going to differentiate this. If Dame's playing, or if we know like the specifics of his availability, then it may be a different story. But I think just with what the Pacers have just accomplished, like you said, last year, going to the conference finals, I think they're going to have the advantage here.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that's a great point with Damian Lillard not being there for Milwaukee. And I was seeing a report that he could come back at some point in the playoffs, or they're expecting him to come back some point in the playoffs, but they didn't say any specifics about first round. I feel like if they would have known he'll be back in the first round, they would have said first round, but they didn't. They said some point in the playoffs. And for that reason, we both lean Indiana. On to the second round here in the Eastern Conference. We've got the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Indiana Pacers and the Boston Celtics taking on the New York Knicks. Starting with that 1 versus 4 matchup in Cleveland, give me the Cavaliers to take down the Pacers. I've got this one going 7 games as well. I think this Indiana team is very underrated as far as everything goes with how the season has gone. I like Tyrese Halliburton a lot, but this Cleveland team, they've won 60-plus games for a reason. I've got the Cavs taking down the Pacers in 7 games.
Definitely taking the Cavs here just because of everything they've accomplished. They've got, like you said, winning 60-plus games. That just, people don't happen to do that. So I think that, and like just like the defensive presence of Cleveland, I think that's going to be kind of the determining factor, like the prowess of that. And just a well put together team. They made some great moves at the deadline to get even more depth, and I think that's just going to be kind of the differentiator there.
We've both got the Cavs punching their ticket into the Eastern Conference Finals, and I think we're both going to agree on this second one here. I'm hoping we both agree here. The Celtics and the Knicks. I've got Boston. I've got Boston taking on the New York Knicks in 5 games. I think the Knicks get 1. But Boston has owned New York recently. They've owned them in recent history. The Celtics winning all 4 games against the Knicks this season. I've got New York getting 1. I don't know if it'll be in Boston or in New York, but the Celtics move on to the conference finals in 5 games.
Yeah, you know what? I just remember when this Knicks team was first built, and the goal of that team was to kind of combat what Boston did, just kind of be like a kryptonite of sorts, kind of match you guys as personnel. And I do think this will be a little bit more of a closer series than people may think. It may go 5 or 6 games, but I'm going to have to still ride with the Boston Celtics. I think that's just a very well put together team. You were in the finals last year for a reason, I think, and you pretty much have kept the same core. And I think it's just going to be a little bit harder to get to that team, just defeat a team like that that has so much experience playing together and has gone so far in the playoffs last year, well, winning the entire thing. So I just think that in itself is what's going to give you guys just kind of the upper hand against the Knicks. So I'm going to have to go Boston, and we'll just say Boston in 6. I think the Knicks shave a game or two off of you guys, but in the end, it should be Boston relatively easily.
Yeah, could not agree more. This will be a very physical series, but I think if the Celtics stay healthy, they roll on into this conference finals. In the East, let's see who we've got representing the Eastern Conference. I'll take the defending champion Celtics. No surprise there. I've got them over Cleveland in 6 games. Of course, the Cavs will have home court advantage, but the Celtics putting up the 3rd best road record in history, in league history, behind only 92-93 Chicago and 16-17 Golden State. So that's great company to be a part of if you're the Celtics. I've got them taking care of business against Cleveland in 6 games, giving the Celtics punching their ticket to the NBA Finals.
Now this one was a headache for sure, because these are both 2 very good teams, and it's really cool to see everything Cleveland's done this year. And, Boston's right behind them. It's going to be a tough one. I think this series definitely goes 7 games. Like you said, I was looking at road records or just the records and statistics in general earlier, and it kind of baffled me. The Celtics have like a really good road record. This team is built to win on the road. With that being said, I think, hate to say it, but I think I'm going to have to go with Boston beating Cleveland. This is truly a toss-up to me. But I think just, like I said, that the core they've got, I think that's going to be what it is that's going to get them to the finals. So back-to-back trips to the finals for the Boston Celtics is what I got.
And that pains him to say. He hates the Celtics. Now, Nick is he's not a Celtics guy.
No.
He's a Lakers guy through and through. He does not like the Boston Celtics. And I can just see the pain in his face saying back-to-back finals for the Boston Celtics. That's incredible. But that's how you know it's unbiased for you there. We've both got the Boston Celtics coming out of the Eastern Conference. And now let's take a turn to this West here, because this West is very up for grabs. It's incredibly open. And we'll start with that 1-8 matchup. This is a matchup that is not open as far as things go. The Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. I've got OKC over Memphis in 5. Very, 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 very good Oklahoma City Thunder team. And they've got the best point differential per game. So they've won games, I believe it was 12.7 points per game, and that is the best point differential of any team in NBA history. So one of the best teams we've seen regular season-wise. Now, do they have that playoff experience? We'll find out. But I like OKC to stroll past Memphis in 5 games.
Yeah, no argument for me. This Oklahoma City team is special. Now, that Memphis team, it's got great potential to do something, to shake something up, but I definitely think OKC handles this one pretty easily. As for further rounds, we'll have to see. But definitely, I think with everything Oklahoma City's accomplished, even with the lack of playoff experience, they still should handle business here. So I'm going to have to agree with you. I'd say OKC, gentleman sweep in 5.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a very loaded Oklahoma City team. They're built for the modern day NBA. A lot of great role players for them. They'll punch their spot in the second round. On to an incredibly fun 2 versus 7 matchup. And this is this is ridiculous. And this sucks for Houston. I'll tell you, it sucks for the Rockets because you've had an incredible regular season. You've won 50-plus games. You've earned this 2 seed in the Western Conference. And then you get rewarded with Draymond Green, with Steph Curry, with Jimmy Butler, and the Golden State Warriors. I like the Warriors to roll on. Lack of playoff experience here is the key for Houston. Give me the Warriors in 6 games over the Rockets.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that as well. And this just really takes me back to a couple years ago with that. Remember when Sacramento was a top 3 seed and they were playing so well and they met the Warriors, and the Warriors took them down. I think kind of the same story here. I think a great young team has an incredible future in front of them, but I think just the years of experience under Steph Curry's belt, under Draymond's belt, and Jimmy Butler's belt, that's just really going to make the difference here because these guys have been here before. And this Houston team, like we're talking about, they're young. I see great things in the future, but I think definitely for this specific instance, I think that got to be Golden State series.
Yeah, and this Rockets team, they're one to watch for. I think when you look at the Kevin Durant sweepstakes coming up in the offseason, watch out for this Houston Rockets squad. But we've both got the 7 seed Golden State Warriors taking out the number 2 seed Houston Rockets, big time upset there. And will it be an upset odds wise? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if Golden State can win their play-in game. Now, as we move on to the Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves, I've got LeBron, I've got Luka, I've got the Lakers moving on against this Minnesota team. And I think it all goes back to a head-scratching move they made before the season began. I think trading for Julius Randle, trading away Karl Anthony Towns. I think this Minnesota team would be very equipped to beat this Lakers squad if they still had Cat. Unfortunately for them, they do not. I like the Lakers to roll over the Timberwolves in 6 games.
Yeah, you already know my loyalty stand here. We're going to go with LAL, LeBron, Austin, and Luka. Okay. And like you kind of hit the nail right on the head with that. I got that from Twitter. That is not my original acronym. I have to preface it. But I think this Lakers team, if there's anybody that the small ball approach would work against, I think it's this Minnesota team. You try to get Rudy Gobert on the perimeter, and we take advantage of that. I think it'll open up a lot more looks. So relatively short series. I'd say Lakers, and we'll say Lakers in 5. Ant-Man will definitely make it a show for sure, but I think LeBron, Austin, and Luka is just going to be the reason why. Lakers in 5.
Sounding like Shannon Sharp there. Lakers in 5. You are
in 5. Yes, sir.
In 5. You already know. Lakers in 5. Yeah. And on to our last first round series here in this 2025 NBA playoffs. This is a really interesting one. Nuggets obviously fire Michael Malone, so this Nuggets squad is going into it with an assistant coach, and it is a very good assistant coach. Don't get me wrong, that the Nuggets have, but you've got a Clippers team who's playing their best basketball at the right time, loaded up with stars. James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Ivica Zubac playing the best basketball I've ever seen him play. Got his first triple-double, and this is an NBA veteran-led team. Give me the Clippers to take down the Denver Nuggets, and give me the Clippers in 5 games. I've got the Clippers wiping the floor with Denver, with Nikola Jokic and this Denver Nuggets team. Give me the Clippers.
Yeah, with everything going on with the Nuggets, there's a lot going on. Firing Mike Malone right before the playoffs. Even as a Lakers fan, we aren't the biggest fans of Mike Malone, but still, that is a shocker. That was a shocker to me. But I think I'm still going to rock with the Nuggets here. I think the Nuggets are really I think they're going to rally around each other through this time. And they're going to really I think that's going to push them past the Clippers because Jokic having a great year. I think that they still have a lot to play for here. And I think because of that, that'll get them by the Clippers in the first round.
Yeah, and if I were given a vote for MVP this year, there's no doubt that it would go to Nikola Jokic. There's just no doubt about it. Even though Shea has been the best player on the best team in the NBA, when you look at who is the most valuable player, Nikola Jokic has absolutely earned that. And I would love to see him rally this Nuggets team behind there. I think there's absolutely a path to see them do that. But it's good for us to have a different opinion, finally, as we've reached the Western Conference semifinals. I think we'll have some differentiating opinions coming up here as well. As we move on to this second round here, starting with the 1-seeded Oklahoma City Thunder against the LA Clippers. This Clippers team, a lot of veterans, great veterans who have played in finals before, who have won championships before. It doesn't matter to me here. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder, they've earned every type of right to be one of the best teams the regular season has ever seen, giving the Thunder over the Clippers in 6 games.
So obviously my matchup is going to be a little bit more different because I have the Nuggets going against OKC. And I think this is a Nuggets team that went to the finals. They have a lot of good playoff experience. I think they really will give the Thunder a run for their money. But like we both highlighted, this is a very special Thunder team. A lot of special players. And I think because of that experience, just that experience they have together, the core, along with just the factors of the firing of Mike Malone, I think that is going to be the thing that ultimately will be the downfall of the Nuggets because of all that, maybe the internal pressure or just the uncertainty about what's going on within that organization. I think that stability that Oklahoma City has and what they built this year is going to be the thing that's going to separate them from the Nuggets. So I got OKC. It's going to be a very good series to me. I think it'll probably go, it'll go 6 games. But yeah, got Oklahoma City advancing as well.
Yeah, this Thunder team absolutely has earned it. And whether you have the Nuggets or the Clippers there, I think it's just tough to see them taking down this OKC squad. Very loaded Oklahoma City team, kind of built similar to the way the Boston Celtics are built. A lot of three-point shooters, a lot of very efficient basketball players there for Oklahoma City. So they move on to the Western Conference Finals. Now, we both have The 3 seed Lakers taking on the 7 seed Warriors. And how about this for NBA ratings? You're looking for some fun basketball here. LeBron and Luka against Steph, Draymond, and Jimmy Butler. Talk about a fun series here. And I've been leading the way
Sir.
for all these series, and I want to see what you have to say about this one first. I'm going to give you the floor. Tell me who you have here between the Lakers and the Warriors.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as it should come to a shock to nobody, I do got Luka, Austin, and LeBron winning this series. I just think that the star power is going to be, it's a lot because of just a 1-2 punch of LeBron and Luka. It's going to be a lot to handle for Golden State. I think they've got a great defensive like core going, but I think it's hard to bet against LeBron, especially like in the later half of the season. The Lakers really seem to find their stride. And it's crazy to think because earlier in the year, this was a team that we would have saw. If you would have told me we were a 3 seed, I would have been hyped. If you would have told me we would have had Luka Doncic, I would have called you a liar. So I think just everything that's going well for them, I think they're riding they're riding high right now. And I think that's going to keep going. So I got them Lakers over the Warriors. We'll say this one, I think this will be a quick series. Call me crazy. I think Lakers handle business in 5 games.
Now picture this. Game 7, Staples Center. Steph Curry, LeBron James, Jimmy Butler, Luka Doncic, Draymond Green, Austin Reeves, Lakers in 7. I've got the Lakers moving on to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference Finals. I agree with you. I think this is a very efficient pairing with LeBron, with Luka, and the weapons they have around him. And overall, I think when you look at LeBron's career and you look at everything around him, and I personally think he's the greatest player of all time, but I think nobody in modern-day basketball can win without a great collection of role players, and the Lakers absolutely have that to be able to get past the Golden State Warriors and go on to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. So we both have Lakers and Thunder in the conference finals. OKC versus LA. Oklahoma City is the home court advantage. And I am excited to see if you've got the Lakers taking down Oklahoma City. I'll go ahead and tell you what I've got. OKC over LA in 7 games. Give me the Oklahoma City Thunder. Moving on to the NBA Finals. This Thunder squad, they're built for modern-day basketball. Now, the best 2 players on the floor may belong to the Los Angeles Lakers, but I think when you start going down the list after that, OKC has a lot of guys that can score a lot of points very quickly and in a great fashion. They don't turn the ball over. They do everything efficiently. I've got OKC. Modern-day analytics giving the Thunder over the Lakers. In 7, though. I'll give them 7.
Mr. Smith, do you believe in magic?
I may believe in magic. Not the magic, but magic.
I believe in magic. Luka magic, baby. Give me Lakers in 7. And I'm gonna justify it. I think the Lakers win because, and by the way, it's crypto.com arena. I didn't want to interrupt you. Not Staples Center anymore.
No, you're right.
RIP.
You're right. My fault.
Yeah.
I'm living back in the olden days, back in the Staples Center days.
Those were the days. But yeah, we crypto.com now. But I believe in magic. I believe in Luka magic. And I think it just all comes down to one thing for me, and it's just experience. Like you said, LeBron is one of the best to ever grace the NBA with his talents. And I think just
The best?
one of the best to ever. Luka's one of the, we got 2 of the all-time greats. Now, Luka's on the come up. He's done great. And hopefully he's going to have a nice long career where he is going to just keep on adding on to his amazing resume. But I think, with that being said, I just like what they have going, like with the experience of those 2. Those guys know how to win. So I'm going to put my money on them. Austin Reeves is also a hooper as well. So I'm going to have to go with the Lakers in 7. Going to punch their ticket to the finals. And we will be able to see a LeBron-Luka finals with them both on the same side. Call me crazy.
Now talk about some cinematic drama there. So as we now move on to the NBA Finals, and this is going to be a really fun NBA postseason. As we come down to it, Nick has the Lakers-Celtics matchup, which would be absolutely incredible to see. I've got Celtics Thunder in the finals, which would also be incredible to see. 2 of the best regular season squads we've seen in a long time over the past 2 years. I'm gonna hand the floor to you because I really want to see where you go with this Lakers Celtics matchup, and I think you have a feeling who I'm gonna pick to win the finals between the Celtics and Thunder. So I want to see if you will take the Lakers over the Celtics. I'm gonna give it to you, and let's see what you've got here. LAL
So LAL, we got, like I said, LeBron, Austin, Luca. Like I said, I believe in magic. I do. And I believe that the Los Angeles Lakers take down the Boston Celtics in 7 games to tie the record again. Okay. And I think it'll be absolute cinema, like you said. LeBron hoisting up number 4. Luca gets his first ring. It'll be beautiful. It'll be a very hard fought series, but LeBron's a winner, and I think with him, he we don't know how much time LeBron has left, so I think he's definitely going to bring the intensity. He's got a great co-star in Luka Doncic, and I think that, along with a good supporting cast, it consists of guys like Austin Reeves, is going to be the reason why the Lakers get number 18.
Whew. Now you said LeBron gets number 4. He's already got 4. He's gonna get number 5.
Excuse
Gonna
me,
go
number
ahead and have
5.
one.
Ooh.
You got to put some respect on my goat there. Got to put some respect on my goat there. He would just say that 5th ring. If he gets number 5, do you think that makes him the greatest basketball player ever? If he gets number 5 this year,
You know, I'm gonna give you a real political answer here. I think it's hard for me to be in the business of comparing players because eras are very different. We have guys dominating eras. Yeah, I know. Nobody wants to hear that answer because we all know who my goat is. It's Mr. Bean Bryant.
yeah.
Okay. So, but I think LeBron has definitely solidified himself. If you absolutely hate LeBron, can't stand the guy, he is no doubt top 3, honestly. So, like, if you have he's top 3 undisputed for sure. Number 5 it would be a hard case to argue against him. I'll say that because of he'd be the all-time points leader. He'd have 5 rings. He's already been to well over 10 finals, or this will be the number that puts him well over 10. So I think that would be enough to just really, it'd be hard to argue against it.
I get that. I do get that, and it is. He's top 3, no doubt about it. I think most people have him top 2. Definitely, I've got him top 1. But back over to my finals here. I don't have LeBron making the finals. I've got this Thunder squad loaded up with a ton of efficient basketball players, and like I've foreshadowed there, I've got the Celtics getting back-to-back championships. I think if this Celtics team stays healthy, there's nobody that can touch them. I think personally, they went 16-3 in the postseason last year. They only lost 3 games, and of course their path. They had injuries along the way, but I mean, Kristaps really wasn't a big part of the championship run last year that Boston had, and I think he's healthy right now. If he can stay healthy, he's a massive X factor. Jaylen Brown dealing with some knee problems, but he's made it clear that he will play through it and should be close to 100%. So I've got the Celtics winning back-to-back championships. Give me Jason Tatum, Finals MVP. The Celtics beat the Thunder in 6 games, and the crowd goes wild.
And the crowd goes mild because they're tired of seeing the Celtics win. That's not ridiculous, what you said. I think my Finals MVP, because I didn't list one. Call me crazy. I think we have Luka magic here. I think Luka really helps relieve some of the pressure off LeBron, and in doing so, I wouldn't even necessarily say outplays him. I just think like I said, he's going to relieve some of that pressure off of them if they make it this far, and I think it'll show.
I think that's one of those things that we've been accustomed to. I think when you go back to 2020 and you look at LeBron and AD in the bubble, it's with LeBron being 40. Like, it's really tough to see him being the best player on a championship team. He just has to, not that he's going to play second fiddle or anything, but to have somebody there with the type of talent that Luka has. He's a top 5, top 6 player in the NBA I don't think that's up for debate at all. And so I agree with you. I think if the Lakers were to win it all, Luka would have to be the best player on the floor. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I can't wait for it to become a reality. I'm gonna go ahead and I can't wait to buy my 18 shirt. Championship banner.
You're going to go ahead and going to have to get a 19 shirt there for the Boston Celtics. 19.
No, sir. Well, like I said, we are in a very good era of basketball. Like you said, there's so much parity in the West. The East isn't bad either. Obviously, it's a little bit tight. It's a little bit more top heavy as opposed to the West. But I think we got some very
100%.
fun basketball ahead.
Yeah, there is no better. I mean, March Madness obviously wrapped up about a week or so ago. It's sad to see it go. It was a top-heavy March Madness there that we had, but there's no better basketball than NBA playoff basketball. Now, these are the best basketball players on the planet playing some incredibly high-level basketball. You got a preview of it on Sunday when we had the Warriors and the Clippers playing almost a play-in game to avoid the play-in. The Clippers got the best of the Warriors, obviously, But now, here we are, and it all starts tonight. And you've got those 2 play-in games kicking off the NBA postseason. But once again, I've got the Celtics taking down the Thunder in 6 games, and Nick has the Lakers taking down the Celtics in 7 games, with Luka winning the NBA Finals MVP. Nick, any final thoughts as we ride off into the sunset of this NBA playoff preview?
3 words. Lakers in 4.
I would love to see LeBron win his 5th ring, don't get me wrong, but not at the expense of my Celtics. So it's going to be an incredibly fun NBA playoffs to check out. And once again, it's going to be incredible to watch. So thank you all for joining us here. Nick, thanks for joining me here on Hoops Talk with Dave. Once again, of course. Anytime, really. It's always fun to cut up and talk some great basketball. But that will do it for your Tuesday morning episode of Hoops Talk with Dave. I'm your host, Dave Smith. Thanks for joining me here. I'll be back with you tomorrow as we will have our 2 7 seeds clinched by the time we reach tomorrow, and some playoffs to look ahead to on Saturday. Thank you for tuning in to Hoops Talk with Dave.